Hello everyone! In my previous video, I reported that Toyotaro said everything official is canon to him, and a lot of you were confused about that in the comments. So today I'm gonna explain what he actually meant in more detail. Let's get right into it. Now first off, Toyotaro did say that everything official is canon to him, and many people replied saying, well, if it's only canon to him, it doesn't matter. But I disagree with that take, because here's the thing. Toyotaro is literally one of the key people writing Dragon Ball now. His interpretation definitely holds weight, and it absolutely affects the way he writes future material. Now let me explain what he meant. From this point forward, we're not going to use the word canon anymore. That word's basically been abolished in the Dragon Ball community. Instead, we're going to use the word continuity. That's the correct way to think about it. There are a lot of continuities in Dragon Ball, not just one official timeline. But the main one, the one that Toyotaro follows, goes like this. Original Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball Z through Kai, since that skips the filler, then into Dragon Ball Super, including all the movies and manga chapters, and eventually ends at the end of Z. That's the main continuity, according to most fans and Toyotaro's interpretation. As for Dragon Ball Daima, that hasn't been officially confirmed as part of the main continuity, so if you want to leave it out, go ahead. But there's also another continuity, where you start from OG Dragon Ball, go into the full Dragon Ball Z anime, with filler, include all the Z movies, and that timeline eventually leads into Dragon Ball GT. This is a more nostalgic path that a lot of longtime fans prefer. Then there's the GT dimension, which eventually ties into Super Dragon Ball Heroes. That's where both the GT and Super versions of the characters exist at the same time, and go up against old movie villains from Z. And we all know how busted movie Goku can be. He solos timelines for fun in Heroes. So yeah, it gets wild. Now here's where Toyotaro's words open up a lot of doors. Because he said everything official is canon to him. That means characters and concepts from different continuities can exist in the main continuity in some shape or form. They just won't be exactly the same. Take Broly for example. The Broly from the Z movies existed in one continuity. Then Super introduced its own version of Broly, who's completely different, both in personality and backstory. They're treated like separate characters, even though the concept is the same. It's the same thing with Super Saiyan 4. That form comes from GT, but a very different version of it appears in Daima. It's the same transformation idea, but reimagined to fit a different continuity. The same thing applies to Gogeta. Fusion Dance gives you Gogeta in every timeline, but Gogeta's personality and behavior differ in each continuity. In the movies, he's super serious and stylish. In Super, he's a bit more playful and expressive. Different takes on the same fusion. And then we get to Cooler. He exists in the movie continuity, but since he's official material, Toyotaro's statement means that maybe Cooler does exist in the main continuity, just not as we know him. Even concepts like the Shadow Dragons from GT could technically exist in the main timeline too, but in a different way. They might not be called Shadow Dragons, they might not even look the same, but the idea behind them could show up in some other form in Super or later projects. Back in the Z era, even Toriyama said that the movies were a fun way to enjoy Dragon Ball, and that you could imagine them taking place in alternate dimensions. That's the same kind of logic Toyotaro is using now. So instead of worrying about whether something is canon or not, we can think of it as being part of a different timeline, but still real and official in its own way. And if you're someone who's really strict about canon, then hey, you can just stick to the original Dragon Ball manga, from the first chapter all the way to the end of Z. That's the most pure and simple continuity. From there, you can choose to either follow GT or Super. Both are official continuations, just in different directions. It's kinda like how Marvel and DC work. There are multiple versions of the same characters across comics, movies, and animated shows, and each one exists in its own universe or timeline. Dragon Ball's doing the same thing now, whether we like it or not, and Toyotaro fully embraces that multiverse-style thinking. So, yeah, that's what he meant. He's not saying that everything is canon in one timeline. He's saying that characters and ideas from all official sources can appear in the main continuity, just altered and reinterpreted to fit. And if he's the one doing the writing, then that absolutely affects what we're going to see in future chapters and arcs. Anyway, I hope that clears everything up for you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video and leave a comment below. Tell me which version of Dragon Ball is your favorite continuity. Do you prefer GT, Super, or the OG manga only? Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya!